How's my life? How you guys doing? I have to redo this one, what I'm doing right now, because the last one I did of this topic got muted. I had to delete it. So let's see if this one gets muted. Eh? Anyway, yeah, so first of all, before I go into the topic of the video, yeah, I do whatever I feel on my channel, and I like Michael Jackson, and Neil Diamond was badass, dude. I mean, yeah, he wasn't rock and roll, hard rock, but like every guy wanted to be him, but just didn't say it. Right? Okay. Anyway, the topic of the video. So Lucian Greaves, who may or may not be Pudge, I don't know, I don't care. But his idea with the Satanic Temple, or Temple of Satan, or Satanic Temple, is beat the system through the system. In other words, go to court, go to law, and bring the system down with the law, but you can't bring the system down by the system. Mahatma Gandhi said a war can't be won on the same energy level as it started. You can't win a fight that's a sandbox brawl just by being the biggest dude in the sandbox brawl. If someone's bigger than you, you haven't changed anything. The only way to make the change or bring about bringing down the system that is corrupt and we don't like, and at least some of us don't like, is through energy, which is a different level than just the system itself. The system functions at a very low level. Through energy, love, transcendence, you go above their head, and then you bring the system down, not by force, but by making the system irrelevant. Because if enough people won't fight the wars, then it won't matter what the politicians say, no one's going to fight. And then Jesus might actually come. Because he's not going to come while we're all killing each other. It's not the time for him to come. Time or the place. He doesn't have to come to get slaughtered this time. And if he came right now, we'd just slaughter him, because that's what we do to everybody else. That's what we're doing to each other. Why would we treat Jesus any differently? He's not here to save us when we don't want to be saved or aren't ready to be saved. So we've got cleanup to do and get our acts together before Jesus even thinks about coming. And yeah, there's a Jesus. He's not the only Christ. He's just a Christ named Jesus. We're all in Christ school. This is the second wave of where the people today that are studying this are the equivalent of the Essenes in 2,000 years ago in the age of Pisces. But now we're in the age of Aquarius. Pisces was all about belief and hierarchy. Aquarius is all about knowledge and equality. Not belief, but knowledge, and not hierarchy, but equality. We don't believe in Jesus. We know there's a Jesus, but we also know we can be Jesus too. That's why we're all in school to be Jesus. Is called not Jesus, but Christ. That's why we're the new Essenes. And we don't have hierarchies. We have love and brotherhood. We're all equal. We don't have a King Herod to tell us what to do. That's the old system. That's the Piscean age. So yeah, I believe Jesus was many different people before he was Jesus. He had many incarnations. He had to study and work to be the first Christ on this planet. But we're all progressing to that. Otherwise, what's the point? What good is it if Jesus is perfect if I'm just a snail on the ground? If I can't become as Jesus, then there's no point in there ever being a Jesus. It only helps him. Can't help me unless I have the potential to do that myself, and I do. That's why I'm in training like others are too. That's a rhyme. So anyway, and part of the training is three part. A lot of the training is, first of all, having a spiritual ideal, meditation, and then sharing it with others. And meditation, a lot of it involves chakras, and I've worked on this. The top two chakras are the crown and the brow. The crown and the brow together are the pineal gland and the pituitary gland. There's arguments about which is which, But I Googled which is higher up in the brain, and it turns out the pineal gland is higher in the head than the pituitary. So I consider the pineal the seventh chakra, and I consider the pituitary the sixth. But people can argue the opposite, but that's what I believe. And as I understand it, the pituitary gland, which is the sixth chakra, it controls the body, whereas the pineal gland, the seventh chakra, controls the whole spirit, including the body. So the pineal is over the pituitary, but the pituitary is over the body, but the pineal is over the body and the head of the spirit of the body and the body. And when the two glands, pineal and pituitary, that is the seventh and sixth chakras, connect, you have connection between the right and left hemispheres of the brain across the corpus callosum, which is the space in the middle of the hemispheres, and you have like a arc that makes like a halo shape. You can see it if you read auras, and that's where the whole idea of the halo came from. Not high altitude, low opening like in SEAL training, like in parachutes, but the halo above the head. And it also was considered a symbol of the sun, like paganism, from circle, yellow circle like the sun. But it also was the connection of in the head of people that have integrated the pineal and pituitary and connected the seventh and sixth chakras, makes kind of a halo around your head in the aura. And the way I understand it, a lot of this is just my belief, but the way I understand it is that the pituitary, being the sixth chakra, is the left brain / right side of the body, right hand, right eye, whatever, but left brain. And that's the body. It's scientific, it's analytical, it's numbers, it's math, it's physical. It's like thought and analysis, and that's the sixth, and that's the pituitary, and that's the left brain. And then the right brain, or left hand, or left side of the body, is the creative, the intuitive, the spiritual, and that's the pineal, or the seventh chakra, and that's rises above the pituitary. But the good thing is to integrate them, make them one, so the left and right sides aren't in conflict, but they both cooperate together and are unified. And that's why I think it helps that, let's say Jimi Hendrix was ambidextrous. It helps because he used both sides, both hands equally. And not only is that good for guitar, but guitarists that can be ambidextrous are better at guitar. But I think it helps you spiritually too. It's why guitar is a cool thing. Keith Richards said that the guitar is the marriage of the right hand and the left hand. So it's kind of like the guitar is a good metaphor for meditation and study, because it involves different things with each hand, and it involves combining those things into one art, playing the guitar, which I think is cool. And in my case, I think it's cool that I have studied both sides of the brain activities. I've done school in engineering, which was left brain, and I've also done music and that kind of thing, which is right brain. But that doesn't mean I don't have work to do. It doesn't mean that I'm special or something. But just I think it was good that I did use both sides of my brain. And I'm somewhat ambidextrous. I'm not perfectly ambidextrous, but I'm somewhat. I can use my left hand or the right. And sometimes I practice that even. I practice eating with my left hand or writing with my left hand and stuff like that. And I practice playing two guitars at once, one in each hand, Sometimes I do that on my channel. So sorry about this. I had to redo this because the first one got muted, like I said. What else did I not leave out? Did I leave out? Yeah, I have no prejudice with my channel, with my music and whatever else I do. I just do what comes to me. I wanted to do Neil Diamond because it's a beautiful song, and he was badass, dude. I mean, sorry if he's not the right genre for somebody, but he was cool. And then Michael Jackson, I thought that was a cool song, and I wanted to do it. Yeah, haters. I noticed one hater said he said something like, "Well, I need my boy JC." Well, I guess you guys do need each other, don't you? You guys huddle together. It's your strength in numbers, because neither one of you alone can handle the whole situation, can you? You need your help. You need your group. You need your gang. If you fight one bean, you have to fight the whole burrito, eh? The best piece of rock and roll.